The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. Those who expect to reap the blessings of freedom must, like men, undergo the fatigue of supporting it. Independence is my happiness, and I view things as they are, without regard to place or person. My country is the world, and my religion is to do good. It is error only, and not truth, that shrinks from inquiry. The mind once enlightened cannot again become dark. A long habit of not thinking a thing wrong gives it a superficial appearance of being right. Reason obeys itself, and ignorance submits to whatever is dictated to it. I love the man that can smile in trouble, that can gather strength from distress, and grow brave by reflection. When we are planning for posterity, we ought to remember that virtue is not hereditary. The most formidable weapon against errors of every kind is reason. Society in every state is a blessing, but government, even in its best state, is but a necessary evil. To argue with a person who has renounced the use of reason is like administering medicine to the dead. Character is much easier kept than recovered. Titles are but nicknames, and every nickname is a title. The greatest tyrannies are always perpetrated in the name of the noblest causes. It is necessary to the happiness of man that he be mentally faithful to himself. These are the times that try men's souls. A body of men holding themselves accountable to nobody ought not to be trusted by anybody. The sun never shined on a cause of greater worth. Man must not be content to do things well, but must also aim to do them gracefully. Those who want to reap the benefits of this great nation must bear the fatigue of supporting it. The world is my country, all mankind are my brethren, and to do good is my religion. Government, even in its best state, is but a necessary evil in its worst state, an intolerable one. It is the duty of a patriot to protect his country from its government. It is necessary to the happiness of man that he be mentally faithful to himself. When the people fear the government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty. Independence is my happiness, and I view things as they are, without regard to place or person. We have it in our power to begin the world over again. The strength and power of despotism consists wholly in the fear of resistance. A thing moderately good is not so good as it ought to be. Moderation in temper is always a virtue, but moderation in principle is always a vice. Tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered. The most formidable weapon against errors of every kind is reason. That government is best which governs least. The mind once enlightened cannot again become dark. Reputation is what men and women think of us. Character is what God and angels know of us. Give to every other human being every right that you claim for yourself. I prefer peace, but if trouble must come, let it come in my time, so that my children can live in peace. Government, even in its best state, is but a necessary evil in its worst state, an intolerable one. I love the man that can smile in trouble, that can gather strength from distress, and grow brave by reflection. 'Tis the business of little minds to shrink, but he whose heart is firm, and whose conscience approves his conduct, will pursue his principles unto death. He that would make his own liberty secure must guard even his enemy from oppression. For if he violates this duty, he establishes a precedent that will reach to himself. To argue with a man who has renounced the use and authority of reason, and whose philosophy consists in holding humanity in contempt, is like administering medicine to the dead, or endeavoring to convert an atheist by scripture. That which we obtain too easily, we esteem too lightly. Belief in a cruel God makes a cruel man. One good schoolmaster is of more use than 100 priests. It is necessary to the happiness of man that he be mentally faithful to himself. Infidelity does not consist in believing or in disbelieving. It consists in professing to believe what he does not believe. 'Tis the business of little minds to shrink, but he whose heart is firm and whose conscience approves his conduct will pursue his principles unto death. Suspicion is the companion of mean souls and the bane of all good society. To say that any people are not fit for freedom is to make poverty their choice, and to say they had rather be loaded with taxes than not. Virtues are acquired through endeavor, which rests wholly upon yourself. So, to praise others for their virtues can but encourage one's own efforts. It is the direction and not the magnitude which is to be taken into consideration. But such is the irresistible nature of truth that all it asks and all it wants is the liberty of appearing. The above are the life wisdom quotes for this episode. Which quote is your favorite? Please leave a comment to tell us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. See you next time.